Do you think there's something too that people specialize in different events? There are certain personalities that seem to fit with certain events. But do you think there is kind of a hurdler personality, for instance, maybe a little different from a sprinter personality or a distant personality? Or
I think so. When you're a sprinter, you like, instant gratification kind of thing. I think as a hurdler, you've got to be really patient because, the best guys aren't, the 19, 20-year-old Americans and stuff like that, kind of how you can have it in the 100 meters or something like that, because it takes a lot of time to refine your technique. And, that's why when you get up there and your hurdle, however long you've been elite level hurdling, that's when you find the best guys out there. So I think it is a kind of mindset. You have to be very aggressive as well. And those hurdles are definitely intimidating if you're not very attacking and stuff like that.
David, during a race, do you do mental cues to kind of get your rhythm down? And what's your mental? Are you just going?
I just go, man. I just go, and just rely on muscle memory. What I've been doing in training. I've been hurdling. I've been getting high-level training since 2005. So I just rely on that.
You're not thinking of anything.
You want to be flow. Just go. Yeah, you have to just go. Because when you figure, whenever you're trying to process a thought, by the time you need to do it, it's too late.
Right.
It's too late.
Do you feel any pressure after the wheels on the new record, the tighter the one?
Oh, no, I don't have to race him at the trial, so I'm not really too concerned with whatever, he does. He has good performances, we already know that, so I'm not very surprised at all. But, I don't have really any type of pressure to try to do anything spectacular and just wait my turn and just keep doing what I'm doing. We're all progressing to, a bigger goal, which we have to achieve at the end of this month, and, we're probably not all hitting on cylinders like we want to at this point in time, but, we'll be there.
What's your expectation of
Well, just to, make it through the trials, have a successful meet there, which means, coming in the top three, whether you're first, second, or third, the airplane's going to land down at Heathrow at the same time. So, that's all you have to do. And that's just my goal, to have a successful meet there and make the team.
Has the race at Prix added any fuel to the fire?
Nah, not at all, really. It's just one race. You figure one race never carries over to the next. Prix has no bearing on this race. This race will have really no bearing on what's going to happen at the Olympic trials. It's all like an individual thing, which is cool about track. You get a blank slate every single time you go to a new meet. Now, if you haven't been working hard, then it doesn't really matter. But, if you've been putting the work in, it's not going to go right every single race. Last week in Prix, had a lot of contact with the runner to my right, knocked my trail arm a few times and could never really get on balance. But, you cross the finish line there, you just say, oh, well, you get ready for this week and, just try to execute here.
And something I've been dying to ask you for a long time. Are you trying to bring back the split shorts? Edwin Moses and those guys, they used to wear them, but half tights is usually the choice.
I like the short just because, Nike had changed the bodysuit style back in 2008. And I used to wear bodysuit sometimes in '07 or but they changed it and I could never put them on the new style. I would always pop the stitching and stuff. So I was like, oh well, I'll just put on these shorts and just put the little jersey on top and that's what I'll just rock with. And that's just what I've always done. I've changed it up sometimes, but I'll just continue to stick with that.
Right.
Do you find you make more contact with other runners than most because of your broad, upper body, or do you think people stay away from you because they don't?
No, I think it's just it's all about kind of just when you're at a meet with 48-inch lanes and the hurdles are going to touch. If you're if you're a left leg lead guy, you're always taught to hurdle over that black bar on the left side. If you're a right leg lead guy, you're taught to hurdle right over that right bar on that hurdle top. Stuff just happens. You figure a left arm guy's going to be going like that, a right arm guy, a left arm guy's going to be going, like this with his trail arm. And so it's just, it just happens.
Do you move your blocks over, based on where you are, which lane you have? Do you adjust before the race? Or?
Well, sometimes, but your muscle memory is going to kick in every single time. It doesn't matter what you do. You've done one thing the same way for hours and hours every day for, all these months and years. So you making one adjustment, at the beginning of a meet or something, it's not going to really kick in, but you just got to kind of get lucky sometimes. And, when that happens, I just always say, well, if I was out in front, then that wouldn't happen. So it's just my own fault as to why it happens. I should have just been out in front and then it wouldn't happen. So I don't really look to blame anybody. Or, it's hurdles, it happens, but it does suck. But it's the hurdles, man.
You mentioned getting lucky. How much does luck play a role in a championship setting?
Oh, well, you have to just get lucky, kind of make sure you're healthy, and you can, that's the only really luck that comes involved. After that, it's just if you put the work in or you haven't, and at the end of the day, if you haven't put the work in, there's no amount of work that's going to allow you to, no amount of luck that's going to allow you to just miraculously run, under 13 or something like that and win. Although people do kind of catch lightning in a bottle every now and then, but I just rely on the fact that I built a career myself. It wasn't just a one race guy, or I ran fast one time or fast 2 times or something like that. I put together a pretty solid career for myself, and I know exactly what it is I'm doing. I can tell you the hurdles frontwards and backwards. So anytime I get to a level, if something happens and I may get injured or fall back, or and have to get back there, I know exactly how to get back there because I've been there several times.
Talking about different runners and body types and everything, I was mentioning Liu Zhang. Can you talk about what makes him so successful? What about his style?
I think he's just very, he's a very.
That's better. Thank you.
He's like a very, like kind of explosive guy. I think like his strength to weight ratio is probably really, really high. He's probably not the flat speed fastest guy, but that's not what hurdles is. His quickness is really good. He's really good on it with his trail leg. The whole movements of the trail and stuff is really good. His lead leg. It's like he kind of like floats the hurdle a bit, but you can't. It's hard to be the entire complete package and do everything right, but he does like 95% of things right. He's just highly trained. That's hats off to him and his coaching. How he can just come out first meet. The rest of us, we're all trying to find our rhythm, walk our times down. He comes out boom right there at times that could win gold medals and stuff. So it's just really good training.